It's private. How about both?
This story begins on an isolated island called Malta, far removed from the rest of the world. The island is ruled by a powerful group led by an old man named Bubba. The people worship Bubba like a god, and nothing happens on the island without his permission. A few days ago, a girl entered Bubba's room and attempted to kill him. Bubba survived the attack and ordered a special man to track down the attacker. Several days passed, but neither Bubba nor his men found any leads. Enraged by the failure, Bubba had the man killed for not completing his mission. Bubba's sister, Anna, then showed him a photo of the girl who attacked him. The girl was named Yuki, also known as Lady Death. Anna believed Yuki had come to kill Bubba and his companions on America's orders. After learning this, Bubba ordered his men to find Yuki at any cost. Next, the story shifts to Los Angeles, where two CIA spies named Brandon and Zero are shown. They carry out dangerous missions under official orders. Brandon is an expert sniper, while Zero is a master in close combat. Their boss, Robert, calls them in for an urgent meeting. He orders them to travel to Malta and rescue Yuki. Yuki is also an agent and a close friend of Brandon and Zero. Robert explains that Yuki went to Malta to kill a man named Bubba. Unfortunately, Bubba survived, and his men are now searching for Yuki across the island. Robert instructs Brandon and Zero to reach Malta immediately. Along with rescuing Yuki, they must also kill Bubba and his 5 closest men. These 5 men are the backbone of Bubba's power, and their deaths would destroy his gang completely. After finalizing the plan, Brandon and Zero leave for Malta. Within hours, they arrive near Bubba's palace. Brandon positions himself in an old church outside the city and begins watching the palace through his sniper rifle. At the same time, Zero sneaks into the palace, kills a guard, and takes his uniform. Disguised, Zero enters the palace where a grand party is in progress. Using the crowd as cover, he makes his way to the hall where Bubba's close associates are gathered. Zero spots a man named Fava, one of the 5 targets. He approaches Fava and tells him that Bubba is waiting for him on the roof. Meanwhile, Brandon notices Anna walking in the palace garden with her bodyguard. He decides not to shoot her at that moment. Inside the palace, Zero notices another target, a woman named Katrina. She is also one of the 5 men Robert mentioned. Zero approaches Katrina and tells her that Bubba has called her to the roof as well. Soon after, Brandon spots another associate named Muscat. Without hesitation, Brandon kills him with a clean shot. Zero later disposes of Muscat's body inside the palace. Fava and Katrina eventually reach the palace roof and begin talking to each other. Seeing them together, Brandon takes aim. With a single shot, he kills both of them. After Fava and Katrina are dead, only Anna, Dr. Zoran, and Bubba remain. Brandon distracted the bodyguard by shooting a nearby flower pot. As soon as the bodyguard moved away from Anna, Brandon killed her as well. Inside the palace, Zero spotted Dr. Zoran and began chasing him. Realizing he was being followed, Zoran pulled out his gun and aimed it at Zero. Before either of them could fire, Yuki stepped in and stopped them. She told Zero that Dr. Zoran was on their side. The 3 then moved together, killed the remaining guards, and escaped the palace. When Bubba entered the palace grounds to meet his followers, Brandon killed him with a precise headshot. After Bubba's death, chaos broke out, and everyone began to run. Using the confusion, the 3 of them also managed to escape. They regrouped at the church outside the city, where Brandon was waiting. Brandon and Zero then called their boss, Robert, and informed him that the mission was complete. Robert was extremely happy and told them to return as soon as possible. Yuki then explained what had happened on the night she tried to kill Bubba. She said that Anna suddenly appeared in her room and fired multiple bullets at her. Even after being injured, Yuki jumped out of the window and ran to escape. During her escape, she came across Dr. Zoran. Seeing her condition, Zoran hid her in a secret place, treated her wounds, and saved her life. After hearing this, Brandon and Zero thanked Zoran and went to sleep. The next morning, Brandon woke up to a shocking discovery. Dr. Zoran had escaped with his car. Inside the car was Brandon's secret laptop. The scene then shifts to Zoran, driving toward a cafe outside the city with the laptop. He was unaware that Zero was sleeping in the back of the Jeep. As soon as Zoran stepped out of the vehicle, Zero secretly followed him. Zoran entered the cafe and started using Brandon's laptop. Seeing this, Zero called his friend Pete, a CI hacker. Zero asked Pete to find out what Zoran was doing on the laptop. A short time later, Pete called back with important information. He revealed that Zoran had copied secret files from the laptop to his phone. Pete also said that Zoran was about to sell those files to a man named Caspin. This name would later play a major role in the story. After learning everything, Zero informed Brandon and Yuki. The 3 of them then headed to the location where Zoran was supposed to meet Caspin. As soon as Caspin arrived, Zoran handed him a phone containing the secret files. Before they could leave, Yuki, who was hiding under Caspin's car, suddenly attacked. She shot Zoran in the neck. Seeing this, Caspin quickly got into his car and escaped. Brandon and Yuki fired several shots at him, but Caspin managed to get away. That night, the 3 of them went to a hotel to rest. There, Yuki revealed a shocking truth. Caspin was actually her father. Yuki had lost her parents when she was young, and Caspin adopted her. He raised her and took care of her like his own child. However, when Yuki turned 10 years old, Caspin locked her in a dark room. He released her only after 1 month. For the next 5 years, Caspin trained Yuki to become a professional hitman. His goal was to use her to eliminate all of his enemies. For the following 10 years, years, Yuki killed countless people on Caspin's orders. Over time, she grew exhausted by this life. Eventually, she left Caspin and joined the CI. Meanwhile, when Caspin returned home, he was shocked to see Anna standing in front of him. It was revealed that Anna had survived Brandon's attack. She now wanted revenge on Yuki for the deaths of her companions. Anna questioned Caspin about why he had betrayed her by working with Zoran. Instead of answering, Caspin showed her the phone Dr. Zoran had given him. He explained that the phone could be used to track Yuki and her teammates. Hearing this, Anna gladly joined Caspin in their plan for revenge. The next day, one of Anna's men tracked Yuki to a restaurant. Yuki was eating there with Brandon and Zero. Suddenly, Anna's hitmen opened fire on them. Yuki and her companions immediately fought back. During the shootout, a bullet hit the attacker and knocked him to the ground. However, by the time they reached him, the hitman had already escaped. The three were confused about who the attacker was and how he had found them. Soon after, Pete called and warned them. He told them that Anna and Caspin were actively hunting Yuki. Pete explained that Dr. Zoran had planted a tracker on Yuki's phone. Using that tracker, the hitman had located them. After hearing this, the three of them destroyed their phones to avoid being tracked. Only then did they realize they had not informed Robert about the attack. The next day, Robert appeared extremely worried. He had been unable to contact his team in Malta. Concerned, he went to meet Pete and explained the situation. Pete told Robert everything about the tracker and the attack. After learning the truth, Robert decided to travel to Malta immediately. He took Pete with him and left without delay. Meanwhile, the team kept an eye on a nearby car. They believed it belonged to the hitman who had attacked them at the restaurant. Before they could react, the hitman suddenly appeared and launched another attack. At the last moment, Yuki managed to drive away, saving all three of them. The hitman chased their vehicle and fired continuously at them. Brandon and Zero fought back while dodging the gunfire. They eventually escaped the pursuit. Later, the three reached a hotel and began planning their next move. They were confused about how the hitman kept tracking them. This made no sense as they had already destroyed their phones. During the discussion, Brandon and Zero noticed Yuki's old wounds. These wounds had been treated earlier by Dr. Zoran. That is when they realized the tracker might not be in the phones. They suspected it was inside Yuki's body. After carefully examining the wounds, they found a tracking device embedded inside. This confirmed that Zoran had secretly planted the tracker during her treatment. Seeing the device, Brandon came up with a plan to deal with the hitman. Meanwhile, Anna's hitman continued following the tracker's signal. Following the signal, the hitman arrived at the hotel. When he entered the room, he found it empty, and the tracker was no longer inside Yuki's body. Seeing the tracker, he realized the full story and ran for his life. As soon as he opened the door, Yuki and her team shot him. After killing the hitman, Yuki took his phone and called Caspin. She demanded a face-to-face meeting, wanting to end the conflict once and for all. Caspin agreed, and they decided to meet at the old church outside the city. The next morning, Yuki arrived at the old church. Caspin followed shortly after, arriving in his car. However, Anna's thugs appeared, capturing Brandon and Zero. It was revealed that Caspin and Anna had conspired to betray Yuki. Anna's men captured Yuki as well, and the three were taken to the palace. Meanwhile, Robert and Pete arrived at Bubba's palace on a speedboat. Sensing that Brandon and Zero were in danger, Robert hacked all the palace cameras. Through the cameras, he discovered that Anna and Caspin had captured his agents. Pete guided Robert using the camera feed, and Robert began eliminating the palace guards. At the palace, Caspin, furious that Yuki had abandoned him and joined CI, aimed his gun at her. Yuki quickly snatched the gun from Caspin and killed Anna with a headshot. Before she could kill Caspin, two of Anna's guards aimed at Brandon and Zero. To save her comrades, Yuki let Caspin go. Caspin ordered that the three be killed and began to leave. Before Caspin could escape, Robert arrived and attacked the guards. A fierce firefight broke out, and Brandon, Zero, and Yuki fought back fiercely. Pete, panicking at the chaos, separated from the team and hid on the palace's first floor. Robert and his team pursued Caspin, eliminating every guard in their path. Caspin fled to the first floor to save himself. He tried to shoot Robert in the back, but his gun was empty. Seizing the opportunity, Pete shot Caspin, fatally wounding him. Meanwhile, Yuki reached the palace backyard after killing several guards. Anna's remaining guards surrounded her and attacked. Yuki fought back bravely, but she was heavily outnumbered and began to be overpowered. Before they could kill her, Zero arrived with a machine gun and gunned down all the guards. After eliminating them, the team returned to the palace to check on Caspin. There, they discovered that Pete had already fatally wounded him. They left Caspin alive, informed the Maltese police, and returned to the US. The next day, they saw on the news that the police had sealed off the entire palace. Caspin had been arrested and taken to court. However, as soon as he arrived outside the court, someone shot him in the head, killing him instantly. It was then revealed that Caspin's killer was none other than Yuki. Yuki knew that if Caspin went to jail, he would likely be released in a few months. To prevent this, Yuki killed Caspin, ending the story once and for all. I hope you enjoyed today's story. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. See you in the next video. Until then, stay safe and keep chilling.